I played Half-Life 2 for the first time on Xbox 360 back in 2013 on the Orange Box. I had no idea what the Orange Box was, and I spent maybe 30 minutes in each game before never opening them again. From ages 13 to 18, I really didn't play games much. I mean, occasionally I would, but I wouldn't classify myself as a gamer at all. Fast forward to 2023, and now I have a chronic video game addiction. I began my quest to discover the best video games. To this point, I had only thoroughly played Blooms, Minecraft, Black Ops 2. I played GTA on the 360. I played Slime Rancher. Nothing, you know what I mean? I wanted something new, something exciting, something that would be a journey for me. And then I discovered Valve.
It's been a long time. Kill all sons of bitches, right?
Gabe Newell.
It has been decided Valve has no more chances and must pay $3 million Australian dollars.
God, Gaben, you suck so much penis at making video games.
The only thing that's keeping Counter-Strike alive is all the esports behind it.
For a company that makes so much money, Valve is surprisingly risk-averse.
They also seem, in the main, to be people that just don't want the spotlight. They're people that just don't really want to be out there.
But there is something really admirable about the fact that Valve makes games because they think that that game can change everything.
I had heard legend of Valve. I mean, I was on the internet. I had Steam. I knew who Valve were. I had heard of the cake being a lie and the crowbar. I saw G-Man all over the internet and Gary's mod. I saw them Meet the TF2 vids.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
No, I ain't talking about that freak, all right? He's not here, is he? How do I get this fucking thing off?
One shudders to imagine what inhuman thoughts lie behind that mask. What dreams of chronic and sustained cruelty.
I watched Misfits and I knew about Counter-Strike and cases. I remember when gambling was going on and CSGO surfing with like Leafy. I knew of all of that, but only at a distance. I had never actually played any of these games. For people who don't know, Valve is a software, hardware, and gaming company started by ex-Microsoft employees Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington. They've basically redefined gaming and made some of the most massive games in history, put simply. Counter-Strike was the first real tactical shooter, in my opinion, and to this day still has a massive player base and a competitive tournament scene, which is really cool. This game has a gambling system in it where you can buy cases and keys and have a chance of getting rare items that you can sell on a marketplace for real money. And I mean, some of these skins are actually worth more than most people's paychecks, and that's conservative. There's some that are insanely expensive, and it's all just code. Team Fortress 2, the grandfather of hero shooters, say dada Overwatch, say dada. Take everything I said about the Counter-Strike cases and apply it to Team Fortress 2 as well. This game is still massive, even though Valve doesn't give a fuck about it. They never give it updates. People just love it that much. I think it's pretty fun too. Unfortunately, Valve shut down the TF2 Source 2 fan project, which would have revived the game. So I think Valve doesn't want their game revived. Or maybe they're going to do it themselves. We'll see. They also made Gary's mod. Well, Gary made Gary's mod. Valve kind of just bought it from him and put it on the store. I don't know. Gary gets paid for it. I don't care. Gary's mod was a Half-Life 2 mod originally that just allowed people to use the Source engine and like Half-Life 2 assets and just have fun in like a sandbox. but it eventually evolved into an adult Roblox. I mean, there's countless servers with a ton of cool games to play and people to meet, customize your kit. It's literally just Roblox, but years later, and it's just full of degenerates and like lame servers, and you can meet some cool people, but it's dying. Gary, I believe, is actually working on a new game called Sandbox with the Source 2 engine that will hopefully revive this genre and give Roblox a competitor, to be honest. Also, don't forget Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, the best zombie games ever made. Don't argue with me, the workshop for Left 4 Dead 2 gives you unlimited content. Really awesome gameplay, cool guns, awesome kit. It's a great game. Great game. They made a super sweet gaming VR and a portable gaming device, and both of them are literally desktop computers. You can fully mod them. They're fleshed out. Well, not the VR. The VR to connect to your desktop, but you get what I'm saying. They're both awesome, and I highly recommend the Steam Deck. It is quite literally just a portable computer. It's awesome. This is not an ad. It's just that good. I have one. My buddy Dylan got one too. They're awesome. And also, Steam. You know Steam, the largest online gaming store ever made. The store that takes a third of every sale. They're printing money with this thing, and it's good. Epic sucks, Ubisoft sucks, EA sucks, they all suck. If I have to sign in after pressing remember me one more time when I load into Monopoly Plus just for it to crash 5 minutes into a game, Steam is good though. So yeah, I was excited to play Valve games. You might be wondering, Seth, you didn't mention their two most popular titles, Half-Life and Portal. Well yeah, I was getting to that. That's what this video is about. Half-Life and Portal are my favorite Valve games, and they make my top 10 of all time. In this video, we will discuss what they are, their story, my experience with them, and how hard getting all the achievements was for them. Because I did that. Every single Half-Life and all the achievements. Also, they share the same canon universe, which is pretty cool.
Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
Sir, the testing?
No! I'm with the science team!
We've moved the anti-matter from the
Half-Life is a 25-year-old FPS game that nowadays holds up as a solid retro shooter, but at the time of release back in 1998, this was the first game really at all to have a compelling story and levels that were all connected. No cutscenes or teleporting around, no walls of text lore dumping. You were really immersed in the world, and the gameplay was fun. Throughout the game, you slowly collect more guns and weapons, tons of enemies to fight. Well, you start with the crowbar, by the way, until you are stacked with an armory of weapons, a gameplay feature that future games like BioShock would use.
Now, would you kindly find a crowbar or something?
You spawn on a train ride through a science facility deep in the Mesa of New Mexico. You are Gordon Freeman, a voiceless character who is basically just a shell for the player to inhabit. But you're MIT educated. The facility you work at is a government-run facility, and they're testing some questionable stuff. But that doesn't matter to you. You just work here, right? You clock in, you get dressed, head in the chamber for testing, and you cause a resonance cascade. Great job. What is a resonance cascade, you may ask? Well, basically you tore a hole between your world and a border world named Zen. And now aliens are invading through this tear, so you doomed humanity. Cool. So now it's up to you to fix it. You fight through the facility, slaughtering aliens and soldiers. Soldiers? Yeah. The military was tasked with killing everyone and everything they saw inside the facility, including humans. You fight through and make your way to Lambda Core, where they have a teleporter to Zen. You travel there, and you kill the Nihilanth. It's a massive, powerful, last-of-its-kind being who had enslaved the Vortigons and all these aliens that were being sent to Earth. He was basically the puppet master. You take down the Nihilanth and free Zen. All the creatures and the Vortigons are all free. And then you meet the G-Man.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh.
He basically employs you, but you didn't have a choice. So now he owns you. And the people he works for own Zen, so all the people you freed aren't actually free. And the Vortigons don't have a home anymore. So surely all this Zen life won't just seek refuge on Earth, right?
Shouldn't you be guarding some donuts and coffee right about now?
In 1999, Valve kindly asked Gearbox, the people who went on to make the Borderlands franchise, if they could make 3 expansions to Half-Life. Expansions, DLC, they're basically just other games that are shorter and use the same IP. And they did. They made Opposing Force, Blue Shift, and the PS2 exclusive Decay, which was also co-op. They're all just more Half-Life with some new guns and enemies, cool story, fun characters. There's not really a whole lot to them. It's just more Half-Life 1. And none of the lore stuff that happens in them really affects the future games at all, so you don't really need to know them. But that's about it. Still cool, and you can see how Gearbox adopted Valve's storytelling and gameplay methods in their games, like in the future. And that absurd amount of weapons they ended up just running with, and now Borderlands has more weapons than any other franchise, so it's cool seeing both these companies start and, like, you know, yeah. Anyway, Half-Life and its expansions have no achievements, and we have the better version of Half-Life to talk about, so...
Oh, thank heavens! I'm in dire need of some toilet paper.
Yeah, I know this isn't technically a Valve game, but Valve themselves gave the go-ahead for it to be made, and it's literally just Half-Life remastered, so close enough. This team called the Crowbar Collective not only remastered the graphics of the original Half-Life, but in a lot of small and major ways, remade the levels and mechanics of Half-Life to be better and more modern. And let me just say, they did a great job. They really blew it out of the water with this game. I mean, look at the comparison of Zen. Everything I hated about the original Half-Life was removed, everything I loved was done better. There's literally no reason other than novelty, nostalgia, or just love for Half-Life to play it over Black Mesa. I mean, it's awesome. I love it so much. I can't get, I mean, yeah, achievement hunting this game was torture. Some of the achievements really aren't bad, but they're broken. Half of them just didn't pop for me, and I'd have to reset them in the console, redo them completely. It sucked. The ones like the Purple Hat achievement, where you have to bring it from the start of the game to the end, is hard but fine. But this game has 2 other achievements where you have to do the same thing, which means multiple playthroughs, and these items are janky. They disappear into non-solid textures all the time in Zen, and juggling 3 of them, like, is just not probable. I mean, playing through the game's fun, so multiple playthroughs is fine, but it just sucks. This pizza box one, it kept clipping invisible walls in Zen, and I wanted to die. These achievements can suck my...
About that beer I owed you.
I had gone into Half-Life 2 genuinely blind. Half-Life 2 being so old and me being so young, most kids my age just didn't talk about it. And when I made my mind up to play it, I just avoided spoilers, and I got a fresh, first-time experience, and it was amazing. If I were to make a game, it would be Half-Life 2, and all the episodes, they're just perfect to me, even though Source Engine can be jank, and it's not perfect, obviously. So many of the chapters in this game are just so unique and creative. The story, the world, everything is just introduced slowly, and you get new mechanics and guns so often. You always have something new to play with. This game introduced the gravity gun, which was originally a tool for developing the game, but people who used it were like, just give it to the player. I mean, this game wanted to show off its brand new Source Engine, which was phenomenal for the time, and they just added like gravity and physics, and physics was something that just wasn't in gaming up to this point. Now it's the norm, but this was all brand new. Gravity gun is definitely my favorite gun all time. Any game, it kicks ass. And there's also like a really awesome cast of characters in this game. The first one had none, just random scientists and people, but this one has personalities you can attach to and care about.
We'll inaugurate the new teleport with a double transmission. You mean it's working? For real this time? Because I still have nightmares about that cat. No, there's nothing to be nervous about.
What cat?
We've made major strides since then. Major strides.
What cat?
So, when G-Man employs Gordon at the end of the first game, he keeps him in a limbo stasis of like nothing for 20 years. In that time, Earth was invaded by the Combine, a multi-dimensional empire set on milking the galaxy of like all its life and resources to make themselves more powerful. Humanity is enslaved by them, and G-Man then brings you back to do what exactly?
Well, I'm really not at liberty to say.
Either way, you make your way to your old friends, you team up with them, and you embark on an epic journey through City 17 to destroy the Citadel, which is the main core of the Combine, to try to get them off Earth, give humanity and all these Zen creatures their freedom. Oh, and there's Alyx.
A Combine zombie. That's like a zombine, right? Zombine, get it?
As far as the achievements for Half-Life 2, they're really not bad. If If you wanted to, you could get them all in one playthrough, but I recommend just doing 2 so you can be fully immersed. It's not a long game. The only difficult ones that stand out to me are Keep Off the Sand, where you have to cross this big beach section in sand traps without touching the sand. And also Zombie Chopper, where you have to get through all of the Ravenholm chapter with just the gravity gun. This one's challenging, but it was my favorite. It's really fun. Oh, and don't forget Flushed.
Jesus, Gordon, you're a real terror.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most franchises have a game that kind of missed a little. For Half-Life, it's Episode 1. Look, it's still Half-Life, it's still fun, and it has a lot of charming moments, but after the intro section, there's only a few standout things, you know? It's cool crawling through the citadels, it's in shambles, but like, I don't know, this elevator part sucks. There's some cool scenes. There's one where Barney yells at you for dropping your crowbar.
Hey, Gordon, before you go, I was getting tired of carrying this around. Listen, I don't have many more of these, so try not to lose this one, okay?
The finale is just so long and repetitive. You have to make like 6 trips of these survivors back and forth. Why didn't we do them all at once?
That wasn't so hard. We should have brought everyone over at once.
Like I said, it's not bad, but kind of boring. Right after the end of Half-Life 2, G-Man is being held off from you somehow by the Vortigons.
We'll see about that.
Oh yeah, the Vortigons kind of worship you. I forgot to mention that. They see you as their savior, the one free man, which is pretty cool. You did free them from enslavement, but they have nowhere else to go now, and they're kind of stuck under the Combine rule just like you. You know, you guys are in the same boat. You crawl from the wreckage of the Citadel, meet with Alyx and Dog. Dog hucks you into the Citadel in a really cool sequence.
Well, Gordon, unless you have a better suggestion, he is a robot. He's done the math. You did do the math. Let's get off before the next ride starts.
Then you steal data and escape. You help escort civilians out of the city and leave on train. As far as the achievements, this game is pretty easy. There's only one achievement that will give you trouble, the one free bullet. It's just as the description says. You can only fire one bullet, which is right here to open a lock, and then the rest of your kills have to be one of these weapons. It's weird, but not impossible.
Prepare for unforeseen consequences.
I love this game so much. It goes to show what Half-Life could have been if they just kept going. The story is the best here, all the characters really shine. You get much more time with the Vortigons.
A poignant scene. An eternity's repose. It brings peaceful thoughts, does it not? No pit would be complete without a freeman climbing out of it. You bear some traits we thought innate to Vortigine. Antlion husbandry was once our ancestral practice. The creatures exude many valuable compounds, but the extract is the most prized by far. It dissolves the false veils that divide the vortessence.
And the levels are just super exciting and fun. I had a blast seeing the set pieces and exploring these maps. There's a lot of freedom. They had a ton of really awesome plot twists and reveals. The game starts with you waking up in the wreckage of your train. You find Alyx, you see the Citadel in shambles as it sends a bunch of portal storms your way. You make contact with your team in White Forest. It's a remote forest base with a huge lab and resistance camp. They say to hurry to them with the data you got from the Citadel because it can help stop the portal storms and cut off the Combine's access to Earth entirely. Perfect. So you do just that. And it's a long journey to do just that, but a lot happens. Alyx gets attacked by a hunter and almost dies, but is brought back to life with the help of you and the Vortigons. G-Man pops in and says some very weird stuff that adds to the lore, but still doesn't make... Who is this guy? What is he doing? You do some side tasks, you hit the road to White Forest, Dog saves you from a Strider, and you find out about Borealis, a plot that never really got resolved or expanded upon, so I guess just don't worry about it. But it's from Aperture. We're going to get to Portal soon. You defend White Forest from this massive Combine attack, the biggest one to date, kill a bunch of Striders, and then you launch a rocket with a little gnome and head crab inside of it.
Steady. Steady.
3, 2, 1.
Lift off! Lift off!
We did it!
We sure did.
You shut down the portal, and you did it. The Combine's off of Earth, right? No more coming through. Then you're just going to take a casual helicopter ride. Wait.
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad.
Don't go.
No! Oh my God, no! No! Gordon! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my God! No! No! Oh my God!
As for the achievements in Episode 2, they're honestly a lot of fun. This is the Half-Life game that introduced the most awesome achievement ever, Little Rocket Man, where you have to carry this gnome from the start of the game all the way to the end and then put it in the ship, hence the joke I made. You get it. It's a grind, but the payoff is awesome. Alright, well, now we have to talk about Get Some Grub. This is such a stupid, pointless, excessive achievement. I hated it. At the start of the game, you spend most of your time crawling through this antlion nest, and it's filled with grubs. 333 grubs to be exact. And you have to kill every single one. And if you miss even one, you have to do it all over again. 3 times. I had to do it 3 times. I wanted to cry. It's not impossible. Just watch a guide and be super careful. It's worth it to count them. Yeah, I hate that achievement. Anyway, awesome game, Valve. I can't wait for Episode 3.
What if I could offer you something you don't know you want?
Yeah, Valve may have stepped away from the Half-Life IP for a little while. Like 12 and a half years. They never made Episode 3 or Half-Life 3, never resolved that cliffhanger or whatever for a number of reasons. But hey, we got Alyx, right? Half-Life Alyx is exclusively VR though, so most casual fans will never get to play it. Thanks, Valve. I, however, was fortunate enough to play it, and I gotta say, it being VR is awesome. I see why they did it. This game is easily the best gaming experience I've ever had, and just proves to me that VR is the future of gaming if it's done right, and I'm being honest. The scale of everything, the immersion, the sound, the characters, the story, the set pieces, the lore building, the actually scary horror. I didn't know games could do that. It's a great addition to the Half-Life universe. If you can, please play it. In Half-Life Alyx, though, you play as Alyx Vance in City 17 before the return of Gordon Freeman. You and your father get captured by the Combine, but fear not, Russell is here. Who is Russell?
Alex, everything cut out for a second. What happened? Alex! Everything cut out for a second. I'm losing your signal. What's going on? Alex!
Kind of appears out of nowhere in this game. He wasn't mentioned in any other Half-Life game before this, which is weird. People make the joke that he's compared to like some character in 2, but it's not true or accurate, I don't think. Who cares though? Because he's awesome. He's a super lovable guy. They expand on him and give him lore within the universe, but he mostly is just there to accompany you as a comic relief and companion. Because this game gets really scary and you need it. Anyway, he breaks you out of a car transporting you somewhere. You meet up and plan to save your dad. During that process, you discover the vault, which then just becomes the main focus of the game from that point forward. Oh, and you meet this guy. I love this guy.
So, what's the Vortigaunt doing here?
Cooking.
Right, but I mean in general.
I have a brain injury.
Oh, I'm sorry to...
My brain is injured.
That's terrible, and I hope...
You crawl through the quarantine zone, a massive sectioned off part of the city. You don't want to be here, trust me. It's quarantined for a reason.
You with the blood on you. You with the blood. I got a little situation here.
Yeah, you sure do.
You don't happen to have a gun on you, do you? Yeah, look at that. It's a nice one, too. It's nicer than mine, which is up inside this guy. Thanks.
What the hell was that?
Oh, that's Jeff.
Jeff?
Oh, don't worry. You can't see. Here's just fine, though. Got an ear like Mozart.
Who?
But you do anyway, to make your way toward the vault. And see what's inside. Maybe a super weapon to fight back against the Combine. Maybe Gordon Freeman. Maybe something else entirely.
All right, Gordon. Let's get you out of this thing.
Impressive work, Miss Vance.
Gordon... Freeman?
Gordon Freeman. Miss Vance, you wouldn't need all that to imprison Gordon Freeman.
So, who are you?
Perhaps what I am is not as important as what I can offer you in exchange for coming all this way. Some believe the fate of our worlds is inflexible. My employers disagree. They authorize me to nudge things in a particular direction from time to time. What would you want nudged, Miss Vance?
The Combine off Earth. I want the Combine off Earth.
That would be a considerably large nudge. Too large, given the interests of my employers.
Well, you asked.
What if I could offer you something you don't know you want?
Dad? What? Is that me? What is this? What's happening?
We are in the future. This is the moment where you watch your father die. Unless...
What? Unless what?
Unless you were to take matters into your own hands. Release your father, Miss Vance. Good. As a consequence of your action, this entity will continue, and this entity will not.
Right. So he's okay, right? He lives. My dad lives.
You are aware that you've proven yourself to be of extraordinary value. A previous hire has been unable or unwilling to perform the tasks laid before him. We have struggled to find a suitable replacement until now.
No! I just want to go home. Send me home!
I'm afraid you misunderstand the situation, Miss Vance.
Wait! Hey, wait! Wait! Wait!
Vital signs critical. Seek medical attention.
Gordon! Gordon! Wake up, Gordon! She's gone, Gordon. She's gone. Son of a bitch, it has unforeseen consequences. I knew it. When I get my hands on him, I'm gonna kill him. Gotta figure this out. Now. We got work to do.
I'm so excited. Will Half-Life 3 be VR or something more? We'll have to wait and see. As far as the achievements go, just watch a guide. Most are honestly easy and can be done in one playthrough. The only difficult one is Gnome Vault of My Own. We return to typical Valve form here and do a gnome achievement. You grab the gnome here at the start of the game and bring it all the way to the end of the game where you get sucked up into this tractor beam. It's fun, but challenging.
I'm going to kill you, and all the cake is gone.
Portal 1 was first released as a part of the orange box that we talked about earlier. It was just a simple puzzle game with a fun boss, its mechanic being, portals. You go in one, come out the other, you maintain your velocity through them. An AI named GLaDOS runs this facility you're in, named Aperture Science, and you're trying to escape her testing prison that she has you in. It's a short, fun game with cute secrets and references that immediately made people fans. Who is writing these creepy things? Where is Aperture? Who are we playing as? Who is GLaDOS? How was she made? All questions that kept fans intrigued. In a sequel? ? Who knows for now, but you make it to the end of the game and you get cake, which is awesome. As far as the achievements for this game, they're super easy and simple. Not a problem at all. Such a breeze, really.
What did it cost?
Everything.
Portal 1 has these challenge levels that aren't to be confused with the advanced maps, which were actually kind of fun to play and not too hard. No, these challenge levels suck a lot. There's some things you have to do that just don't make sense, and I don't know how smart you have to be to just know how to do it. I recommend watching a guide and save scumming like I did.
Yeah, we're both in space.
Now we're talking. This is my kind of game, and honestly my favorite on the list. We all know Valve kicks ass at making sequels, and this is just no exception. Portal 2 is a must-play for everyone. You get 2 campaigns in it, a solo and a co-op one. Why don't more games do this? Because more games don't care like Portal did. I personally love the solo one more. It's just a masterclass in storytelling and comedy and gaming. I've never played a game that was this funny.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped. But never mind. Say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Just hold tight.
At the very end of Portal 1, after escaping, you're seen dragged back into the facility. Valve released this crucial comic that kind of connects 1 and 2. It centers around this character, Ratman, the one leaving behind all those secret dens and stuff. He wants to help you take down GLaDOS, but he's gone mentally insane. You never directly interact with each other, but he does help you in a bunch of small ways. You're put into a stasis for like God knows how long.
Good morning. You have been in suspension for 99999.
Inside this little box, which the comic compares to Schrodinger's cat. They don't know if you're alive or dead within that box. You'll come out eventually, though. And you do. You wake up one day because of Wheatley, a new robot companion and a new stellar character in this universe, who brings you through the entire facility in the most amazing intro sequence I've ever seen in gaming. It really makes you feel like a small cog in this massive living machine, which is the vibe that the game continues to run with all these moving parts and twisting, bending things. Like the whole facility is breathing. It's really cool. You get a portal gun, and Wheatley brings you right to the dead body of GLaDOS. GLaDOS wakes up, kills Wheatley, and captures you. And she is mad.
Do you know the biggest lesson I learned from what you did? I discovered I have a sort of black box quick save feature. In the event of a catastrophic failure, the last 2 minutes of my life are preserved for analysis. I was able, well, forced really, to relive you killing me again and again, forever. You know, if you'd done that to somebody else, they might devote their existence to exacting revenge. Luckily, I'm a bigger person than that. I'm happy to put this all behind us and get back to work. After all, we've got a lot to do, and only 60 more years to do it. More or less. I don't have the actuarial tables in front of me. But the important thing is you're back, with me. And now I'm on to all your little tricks. So there's nothing to stop us from testing for the rest of your life. After that, who knows? I might take up a hobby. Reanimating the dead, maybe.
Well, after doing some tests and getting bullied, Wheatley returns. He lived, and now you guys are going to take down GLaDOS. You get back to her, swap Wheatley with GLaDOS, making Wheatley control the facility. The end, you defeated GLaDOS. Yeah, not quite.
This body's amazing, seriously. I can't get over how small you are, but I'm huge. Actually, why do we have to leave right now?
You're not just a regular moron. You're designed to be a moron.
I am not a moron!
Yes, you are. You're a moron they built to make me an idiot.
Well, how about now? Now who's a moron? Could a moron hunt you into this pit? Ah! Could a moron do that? Uh-oh.
Oh, and he turned GLaDOS into a potato. You are now in the underbelly of Aperture, and this is the part of the game where you meet Cave Johnson, the guy who made Aperture.
Just a heads up, we're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do. Probably nothing. Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out. Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face. In case you're interested, there's still some positions available for that bonus opportunity I mentioned earlier. Again, all you gotta do is let us disassemble you. We're not banging rocks together here. We know how to put a man back together.
There is a lot of lore in this section. You are quite literally unearthing the darkest parts of this facility, closed down areas. You figure out who Cave Johnson is, what his goals were. I really appreciate the reference where they talk about Aperture doing all their science from scratch, no hand-holding, because that's how Valve models their company.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding.
You and GLaDOS, an unlikely duo, end up pairing up because Wheatley is going to destroy the facility because he doesn't know how to run it properly. GLaDOS being part of the potato, you stick onto the gun, and you go to take him down, fighting through the facility and making your way to him. Eventually you do. And the finale of this game is just really cool. It's a fun boss fight. There's a huge set piece. I don't want to spoil anything here because if you haven't played it or seen it, you should watch it or play it. Also, the puzzles aren't even that hard. If you're worried about that, struggling with this game, you can easily do it. Just use your brain, or if you're struggling, watch a guide. If you're stuck, you'll be able to get through it. It's not hard. Oh yeah, the co-op campaign also cooks. Get in there with a friend and just use 4 portals to cause chaos. The story is really cool, and the secret level and ending is also fun.
It's the bird. Run! I have no plan for this. Abort! Forget your training. Run! What are you doing? Why are you not running? Get back! She's at the controls. You're not killing machines. I lied about that. Run! Oh God! Abort! Mission abort!
The achievements in this game can be for sure challenging, since you literally need an entire other human that is decently skilled enough at the game. And then you have this bullshit achievement that requires you to beat the game and then play it with someone who just got it. I know this game goes on sale for like a literal $1, but come on. There's a few dumb fun ones and a few challenging co-op things, but overall it's a blast to complete. Play Portal 2. It's the highest rated game on Steam. It's got to be at least a little fun, you know? If you can't play any of the games mentioned here, I have all of them in their entirety uploaded to my second channel, linked below. You can watch them. Subscribe for more. Also, I live stream. Check me out sometime.